It's already been a week, and you know what that means. It's time for the self-publishing news, and we're going to be talking about how you can avoid KDP account terminations and suspensions from a great, very good resource in written word media. Ingram Spark just rolled out a book building tool. What can you expect from something like this? It feels like Ingram Spark's finally starting to catch up with the rest of the pack, and Barnes & Noble wants to hook you up with a summer marketing plan for your books so you can start to leverage these tips while it's still summertime, and hopefully use a little bit going into the other months. But we'll talk about all that in the self-publishing news for July the 29th, 2024. Of course, I want to give a big shout out to the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. Get reviews and awards for your book. Over 2.2 million books are published every year. Authors need a smart strategy to stand out. Book Award Pro is how you win awards and get reviews for your book. Between book awards, Amazon reviews, and editorial reviews, Book Award Pro is for you. A 97.6% author satisfaction rate with over 350,000 opportunities presented to authors over 6 different continents. Authors just like you and me, included Marcia said, Book Award Pro finds the best awards for my books, and their algorithm takes the guesswork out of which category to apply to. Debbie said, thanks to Book Award Pro, I've just won an award in the romance category for my novel. Book Award Pro is more than an aggregator. They help you every step of the way and identify an incredible number of awards that authors are eligible to win but might not even know about. That is the key when it comes to Book Award Pro. They take a lot of the guesswork out of it for you, so that way you can focus on other aspects of your business. You want more details about Book Award Pro, visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/bookawardpro. Thank you so much, Book Award Pro, for being a long-time sponsor here of this podcast. Speaking of Book Award Pro, they want to give you a little bit of insights here. They're going to need some inside intel, if you will. Awards for authors, secrets from a book award judge. If you have ever found yourself in a position of applying for book awards and not winning them, they're going to give you the details. Sandra Wendell, who is an editor and award judge, shares some of the secrets of winners. They look into things such as your overall appearance, how your book compares to others, professionalism, which, by the way, I know I'm already past the ad spot, but might I say the pro plan on Book Award Pro, stellar stuff. They actually put together a super professional package when you're getting submitted. That's one of the reasons why I go with the pro plan anytime I'm submitting for book awards. All right, not shilling for them here. Genre standards and so much more. This detailed piece is going to give you insights and get it to where you can increase your likelihood of winning a book award, because just because you apply for it doesn't mean you're going to win it. Increase the odds in your favor. All right, this one's a hot topic. A lot of people always bring this up with me. In fact, I get the comments a ton over on my main channel where we're talking about how to avoid KDP account suspensions and terminations. It's something that happens. Yes, it happens to far less people than what you would know, but we don't really know that number here. But in the written word media piece, they talk about all the information you need to do, including key metadata guidelines to follow, common metadata mistakes to avoid, and they included a checklist. Let me go ahead and give you the TLDR here on their checklist for metadata. You need to review Amazon's metadata guidelines regularly. Yes, they change these on a regular basis. The last time that they changed it was in November of 2023. So I anticipate that it should probably be changing relatively soon, but we will see. Ensure titles and subtitles match the book cover. You need to have your title and subtitle on your cover. Now, there have been some people that have flown under the radar without their subtitle on there, but believe it or not, that is a no-no. You're supposed to have both your title and subtitle on your cover. You need to use accurate and relevant keywords. So just because you found a keyword that is profitable and there's no competition, if it is not relevant to your title, then don't attach it to it. The same thing goes for categories. Don't select a category and just put it in there because you're like, oh, I'm going to sell one copy and become a #1 bestseller in this. Yeah, it doesn't make sense if you're putting an erotica book over into a car repair manual category. Yeah, way to go. You won the #1 bestseller, but guess what? No one's giving awards for that. So don't use an improper category. And if you get suspended or terminated for misusing categories, that's on you. Write clear and honest descriptions. So kind of like what we were going back to, keywords and categories, only state what is definitely inside the book. Double check for copyright and trademark compliance. This one right here happens so much. I can't tell you how many times people have inadvertently abused a trademark, infringed on a trademark of some sort. So let me give you a for example. An old author friend of mine, back in my early days of self-publishing, had published a book on the fitness equipment TRX. TRX is a trademark name. I thought he had some people inside the company that gave him permission. I just assumed. So when he got his account suspended, he was like, "What happened?" Came over to me, he's like, "Well, I don't understand this. What happened?" Yeah, you're not supposed to use trademark names. So I would recommend, before you hit publish, go over into something like the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, which is uspto.gov, and see if your title is available through there and see how that trademark is filed, whether it's with books or if it's for like food or something else like that. If it's in books, you might want to avoid it altogether. A lot of people go, "But you can't trademark titles." Yeah, they have. There has been instances of people trademarking titles. It does happen. Now, as far as copyright goes, registering a copyright, not mandatory, but it certainly will help in the instance that for some reason KDP gives you pushback. Next item up over here is label sexual content properly. Yes, if you got adult-related content, don't just not mark it. If there is going to be some naughty bits in it, if there's going to be some segments that you wouldn't want to read in front of a group of children, then you probably should mark the adult box. Does this put your title into the adult dungeon? Yeah, it does. But it's going to the proper area for people who do look for that. You don't want this going out to the general public. And if you are not labeling as sexual content, having sexual content within your actual book, and you get yourself terminated, don't come back to me and say I didn't tell you. I did. Maintain consistency across all metadata elements and monitor email for any communications from Amazon. If you've got an email associated with your KDP account, which you of course do, make sure you're checking it on the regular. When I say check it on the regular, do it at least every other day. No more than maybe every 3 days, because sometimes there's a window of time where they want to respond to something, and it's typically up to 72 hours. But I would say if you can check it daily, that's the ideal way to go. So that way you're not running into any issues. And check your spam filter from time to time as well. Always a good idea, best practice. You want a full breakdown of this? I definitely recommend you go over, check out the Written Word Media post. The link is, of course, inside the show notes as per usual. Hey, Ingram Spark just rolled out a new book building tool. And this book building tool looks pretty freaking cool. I haven't really had a chance to play with it just yet, but you are able to do your interior design and your cover design. Now, they do have a cover creator template. I'm not the biggest fan of cover creators and some of these publishing avenues, but I haven't had the chance to dabble with it yet. But I'm going to tell you this. Ingram Spark is the most fickle platform when it comes to getting your cover perfectly done. I can't tell you how many times that I follow their template to the T, and I'll upload it and it rejects me. And I've even shared some of this information. Actually, it'll be in a future video over on the main channel about how I had Miblart do it, which Miblart has done literally like hundreds of thousands of covers. And they've done plenty of Ingram Spark's covers, but for whatever reason, they kept bouncing it back. What are you doing, Ingram Spark? But all that to say this, if you want to avoid all that headache, just go over and use their cover creator inside their book building tool. So it is 100% free. So if you happen to be using the Ingram Spark platform and you want help in getting your book cover design, your book layout just right to meet those file requirements for both print books and ebooks, then this is definitely the way to go. Fine folks over at Barnes & Noble just rolled out a piece about hot summer book marketing tips for indie authors. This is great information. Highly recommend if you ever get the opportunity, visit Barnes & Noble Press. It's press.barnesandnoble.com, I think it is. And get yourself set up with an account, 100% free to do. Get on their email list. They give really good emails. It doesn't come too often, I think maybe once per month, but it does come with tips like this. So one of the things they talk about is hosting virtual book affairs. Good Lord. Hosting virtual book tours. Virtual book tours are a fantastic way to reach readers. Plus, you don't leave the comfort of your home. You can plan engaging events, offer exclusive content, and promote widely. You can also organize outdoor book readings. You can choose scenic locations, partner with local businesses, and make it interactive. Good friend of mine, Susan Montgomery, she's part of the Discord community. Link inside the description as per usual. Susan actually shared more recently that she was able to book a reading over at a local cat cafe. It's like a cafe with cats in it, of course, which sounds like a lot of fun. And she has a cat-themed book that she is actually going to release, and she's going to share at this one right here. So that is one of the ways that she is leveraging local businesses. Big kudos and shout out to Susan, by the way. Run summer-themed promotions, engage with your audience on social media, collaborate with influencers and bloggers. There's so many great tips. I just gave you the TLDR, but feel free to check out that article. Hey, you looking for a little extra work? You need a little bit of part-time work? I think you might need some part-time work. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. I'm not sure, but the fine folks over at Atticus is looking for a customer success geek that's going to be working part-time. Some of the information that they share in this is a part-time position, 10 to 15 hours per week, and is 100% work from home. The customer success geek will be responsible for answering support tickets at scheduled times every day and throughout the completion of that ticket. This is Monday through Friday. We are currently looking for someone available for the evening shift, which ranges from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time, which may be your hour if you happen to be outside of North America. Rotating weekend schedule with responsibility for all tickets over the course of 1 weekend per rotation, and every other Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time for support team meeting. There's more details about this, by the way, if you're not familiar with Atticus. It is a tool, a writing tool that is put out by the fine folks that actually did Publisher Rocket, and you're probably familiar with the Kindlepreneur Dave Chesson. That was a big project of his that he's been working on for many, many years. All right, going to give you guys some rapid fire pieces that you're going to go ahead and take a look at here. Over at the Ally headquarters, the Alliance of Independent Authors had just released a podcast, my monthly podcast for reaching more readers with Holly Greenland. We talk more about reader magnets and growing your email list for indie author success. We do a deep dive. This is actually, I think, the fourth part in a series about email marketing. So if you've ever been lost about email marketing, you may want to go over, listen to this podcast. You can even watch. Can you watch it? No, you can't watch it, Dale. You can watch it as it plays, but it's not going to have any visuals to it. But you do have the audio podcast. You can go ahead and take a look at that one. Also, if you happen to be part of Publish Drive, they have a number of promotions. You want to open up your dashboard, go into the promotionals tabs. You can see that there are some promotions coming up for Apple Books, as well as eCentral, Biblioteca, and you need to see if you're qualifying for that based on your niche and your sale price. The folks over at Story Origin are putting together a live webinar with the fine folks over at Authors Republic, the audiobook publishing company. It is going to be on Tuesday, July 30th at 12 p.m. Central Time. This is going to be a Q&A with Lindsay Senior at Authors Republic. This is 100% free. Again, that's July 30th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Go ahead and sign up for that if you are interested. And here's my shameless plug here of the day. I have my book 1 of 8. It's in a virtual book fair right now through ebookfairs.com. I could use your favor here. First of all, one, you can help vote for me on this particular nonfiction virtual book fair, and you can also pick up a copy of this book and take a look at other nonfiction books that are alongside me as well. You're not going to find any other ones about writing and publishing in here, but you might find something that might scratch your itch in the nonfiction realm. I'd appreciate if you go over and vote for my title. Use as many of the votes as you possibly can. Push me up to the top. I thank you so much. And speaking of self-publishing for new authors, my good friend and I consider him a brother at this point, Ross Brand. We don't look like we're related, but I promise you we are in heart. But Ross Brand actually did the first interview with me in months. I've been turning down a ton of interviews here more recently because I had to focus on my 8-book project, but Ross is the first to break ground. Find out how I was able to get an advance for my entire series to help offset costs. And you're going to find out how I was able to do that. Yes, an indie author, a self-published author, getting an advance. Just think about that one right there. You'll find out more details about what went into producing this first book as well as the entire series. Ross leaves no stone unturned. It is a great hour conversation. And then last but not least, of course, I've got to give a big shout out to the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. Thank you so much for being the sponsors here of this podcast. I want to share with you that they have a neat feature called story marketing. So when you do get in any of their paid plans, they will allow you to choose any of your books that you can share through social media, through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Goodreads, and even by email. And they will even give you the actual visual assets that you can share across everywhere and recommendations on what you can say about your given book. All that and more, go on over to dalelinks.com/bookawardpro. What'd you think about this week's news? Was there anything that I specifically missed? If I did, let me know over inside the Discord community. Join me and almost 1,000 other authors over on Discord at dalelinks.com/discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. I'll catch you next week.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.